Focus. Focus is extremely important. The moment you begin to focus at what you do, only then is the essence of the universe is going to start taking you serious. As Henry Ford once said, the man who believes he can and the man who believes he cannot are both correct. Focus is extremely important. There are many things to distract you. Fear is there to distract you. Fear exists because you're not fully aware of what's going on. It's normal. That's fine. But even then, that's the more motivation for you to seek knowledge and wisdom. Knowledge and wisdom will come to you once you focus. The right assistance you need will come to you when you need it by focusing. There's a very, very, very powerful tool that you and I have that a great amount is done to hide it, to conceal it, although it's right in plain sight. You live with it, you breathe with it, you are that thing. And that thing is your mind. You know, when you think about something, whether you consciously are aware of it or not, you're formulating an image in your head, in your mind, your whole nervous system, in your whole system, in your body, your legs, your part of the muscles you didn't even know it existed. It's responding to that thought. And that thought always has an image attached to it. With every thought that creates an image, or with every image that goes with a thought, it's very synonymous with changing a TV channel or a radio station. Whatever it is you're thinking of is whatever you're tuned into. Whatever you're thinking of is whatever you're focused on. Whether your intent is to actually focus on it or not, at that moment, the moment you're thinking about it, you're focused on it. And the moment you're visualizing it, whether you realize it consciously that, hey, I'm seeing this in my eyes, your mere act of thinking of it, you already visualize it. There's a very popular thing in hypnosis whereby when someone says a word, you visualize the image first of that word before the actual letters or whatever hieroglyphs of your language is. The image comes in your mind first because that is how your mind, quote unquote, tune into that reality. So do your best to always focus at what you want and what you need, and it would always benefit you. Most of the things that you think of on a daily basis are not your thoughts. Most of the premonitions, the visions, quote unquote, dreams that you have when you go to rest, when you sleep, so to say, those dreams are not necessarily yours. It might be your neighborhood, it might be the state you're at, it might be your household, it might be someone's thought deposited around there that is coming into yours. Why? Because you're not focused enough. And now their reality is slowly becoming yours. And that is done in today's world. Somewhere along the line, someone actually successfully managed, they successfully convinced everyone that it's not necessary to focus on their own thoughts and create their realities. If that hasn't been successfully done, then most people would not be suffering from what we suffer from in today's world. And believe it or not, where someone is suffering, someone is definitely benefiting from it. That's just how things are. It's been like that since time immemorial. It would always be like that. It's just part of the correspondence of reality. So that's even more so the reason for you to focus. Because when you begin to focus, things begin to respond to that focus of yours. Believe it or not, you and I, when we came here, that whole process of crawling, then learning to walk, then falling and stumbling, and then being able to properly walk, and then being able to learn how to run and all that, is a similitude of what's happening in a realm that you can't quite see or touch. And you have to retrain that. That is what all these physical stuff you put on paper, the stuff you're saying in court, the stuff that you're adjudicating, administering, whatever it is, that is what it all boils down to at the end of the day. So focus. When you focus, remember that whatever you're seeing in your mind, that is the reality that you're creating at that given moment. Put it to use. because it is being used against you. And what makes it very, very interesting, the fact that you don't have to know whether it's affecting you or not for it to take effect. And here's somebody bringing it to your attention. Focus. If it's something as simple as getting that case dismissed or winning that lawsuit, or other simple things to just prevent you from even getting to that situation in the first instant. Or something as simple as where everyone's paperwork is being denied for whatever reason, because it's known that certain types of documents will be denied, yours will simply go through. Whatever delay might exist, wherever they say delay exists, yours might go through swiftly. Why? Because of your focus. Focus. Only then will the essence of things begin to take you serious. Focus. And what you see in your mind, make sure it favors you. You know this. There are many times where you're traveling down a road, where you're doing something somewhere, and you just automatically start playing out something and you catch yourself. Whatever it is you're playing out of your mind, you caught yourself because you knew it was detrimental. It was bad for you. Then you wonder, why was I playing that out? It might be a form of premonition or foresight. But at the same time, you ought to create your reality. Your foresight ought to be focused, willful, and deliberate. Don't let anyone's open suggestions create your reality for you. That might be someone else's thoughts regarding that same circumstance. Whoever was the other party involved in that thing that you caught yourself thinking about that's detrimental to you, that might be their thoughts. That's hanging on to your own essence and it's just casually playing out. You're beginning to tune into their thoughts, and that's victory for them. When it comes to things that works, it is very much like child's play. It is very much like a joke. The whole thing about magic, imagination, that's what it all boils down to. The whole thing about law of attraction, it's all about action. Magic, image, same thing. Those two words are the same thing. But look at the words. They tell it to you. Look at the word attraction. It tells you it's an action, but it's not a physical action of a physical toil. It's what you create in the mind, because this physical thing is predicated upon something that's not corporeal. It's predicated upon something you can't touch. That which you can observe with your five senses is created by that which you cannot observe with your five senses. And that is what someone somewhere along the line figured out and have successfully tricked a lot of people to not do. As simple as it is available to you at every moment, at any time. You have access to it. At any moment, you can do it. All you have to do is just see it and play it out. Go back to that state of childhood that you are. Follow what Yeshua said. Be childlike. Use your imagination. Because that is where your true power is. Most of us lose that power as we, quote unquote, grow up. Supposedly grow up. Because other people's thought forms have been tuned into us. Fix yourself by focusing on yourself. Tune into the right imagery in your mind. Do it. You have access to it. And then there are many other things you can do to assist, make that firm, make that stronger, make that easier to do. If you're religious, fine. North America, the most, during this time, predominant form of modern religion is Christianity. It tells you in Genesis 1:29, Revelation 22:2, Genesis 9:3, and Ezekiel 47:12. It tells you in all these things. It lets you know these plants or roots are there to be used. It tells you in Psalms 51:7. It tells you in Exodus 15:26, Proverbs 15:17. Isaiah 38. So it tells you all these things. And it's not merely pointing it out just for the heck of it. Yeah, sure, you can use that, to defend yourself in the case against marijuana and all that, but that's not what we're talking about. Even in other spiritual systems like Ifa, they don't even beat around the bush. They tell you straight up, look, this type of herb is used for court cases. This type of herb is used for love. This type of herb is used for battle. This type of herb is used for healing cancer. It tells you straight up. But if you're using Bible, it tells you these herbs and roots are to be used. How is it used? Look into the Hermetic principles. Look into the correspondence of these plants and planets. The word plants and planets are the same thing. Each plant has a correspondence to a planet. Each planet has correspondence to certain activities that you can use it for. If you want to overcome anything, in any court case or just anything in general, use any plant that's consecrated to the sun. If you want an equitable and just decision, use any plant consecrated to Saturn. If you want things to be swift and for everything to go easier and smoother, and for you to be able to receive information properly, or whatever the other party is, the acting judge, to receive your information properly, use any plants consecrated to Mercury, and so on and so forth. Believe it or not, the Bible gives you these things. You just have to read between the lines. But first, if you're not focused, none of these will work, because the source and the field that all these things and realities, physical or otherwise, are predicated upon is your mind. And even up to things like animal spirit and animal intelligence. But people get a bit carried away with fear when they start talking about blood of animal and stuff like that. But don't do that. You don't have to do that. Just do the basics of using your mind. Focus on it and tune into the right image, and things will start working to your benefit. It's designed to work to your benefit. You don't deserve to come on this earth and just suffer over and over and be a victim over and over. Stop for a moment and think about that. It's about time you begin to actually enjoy your time here in this body that you are in. Start using your mind. If you don't, somebody else will use it for you. Focus. The essence of the universe is user-friendly. It is extremely user-friendly. You and I are walking around with the most powerful computer that is the most compatible with the universe. And all you have to do is simply use it. When you and I were created, we were highly favored. As if we weren't, we wouldn't be given the ability to imagine.